Alright guys, today's the day. Today is the moment of truth. I could not be more excited to finally reveal to you guys what I'm putting in this giant tank that I bought over 2 months ago. Just bought the fish from Herman Brothers Lake and Land Management. Thank you, Herman Brothers, for the fish. This is a fish that I could not go out and catch and just put in the tank. You guys will see in a little bit, but I got him sitting in the cooler back there. I cannot wait to get this guy in his new aquarium, start feeding him. This is gonna be so epic. I am so excited. It's like Christmas morning.
What's up, Bear Gills? Where's the little guy at? Where's the little guy at? There he is.
Alright, it is now about 3 days since I picked up my new pet from the hatchery. The fish is in his giant tank. He's all good. I've already fed him, so I'm gonna show you guys him today. We're gonna feed him. It's going to be an epic video. But first, I wanted to start here at home because this is the tank I started with. So 3 months ago, I got into the hobby of fish keeping. I started with this 55-gallon tank. I caught this little, he was about 8.5 inches when I got him. Now he's close to 10 inches. That is Bear Gills, my bluegill. And then this tiny guy, where'd he go? That guy. He was about half the size when I got him. I trapped him in a tiny little creek near my house. But this has been a fantastic starter tank to learn everything about the hobby, because you can't just buy a fish tank, throw water and put fish in and expect them to be healthy, for them to survive. This has been a perfect tank for me to understand everything about water, the water changes, nitrogen cycle, cleaning the filter, everything. So after having success with this tank and you guys loving the fish and all that, I decided to go big. And then over 2 months ago, I bought just way too big of like a 225-gallon tank. We're gonna feed these guys a little bit here, and then I am finally showing you guys the epic new addition. So I've fed these guys everything from red worms, mealworms, bloodworms, night crawlers. I don't know, anything from the pet store. I fed them crickets too, that was fun. But the big guy has gotten to eating just whole entire earthworms. That's what we've gone to feeding him for the most part.
There you go.
Hey bud, are you blind? There you go. So Bear Gills is a big, fat, happy bluegill. I've successfully kept him for like almost 4 months now, but everybody keeps bluegill, everybody keeps bass in their tanks. I know I had you guys take a guess of what I was gonna put in the giant fish tank the last video I made of it. There were a ton of comments. Some of you guys guessed the right thing, but what I have in that tank is much more fun to feed than little Bear Gills or a bass is. So here it is, guys. After 2 months of a lot of frustrations and hard work trying to line all this up, we bought the tank off Craigslist in Cincinnati, drove it all the way up, had to transport it here. That thing was damn heavy too, if you guys didn't know how heavy aquariums are. They are heavy. And my vicious predator is here chilling. I'm not gonna, no more cliffhangers, any suspense, anything like that. I have a beautiful tiger muskie in the tank. The cool thing about this guy right here is that, if you notice, he doesn't look very vicious right now. He's not really moving. He's just chilling. Muskies spend a lot of their time just completely still, but when they eat, it's epic. I actually haven't fed him yet. My dad got to feed him once and said he just absolutely went ballistic on a big chub minnow we fed him, but look at him. So we put water in the tank over a month ago, got that nitrogen cycle, got all the good algae in there, everything like that. About 2 weeks ago, we put in all the weeds. So these weeds that cover the corners and the entire back, these are eventually going to grow up to the surface, and then they'll keep growing, so I'll have to trim them. This big plant in the middle, he loves chilling by there, and I have 2 pieces of wood that we're going to cure today. They're actually beaver-chewed logs that are going to perfect this tank right here. Other things we have in the tank: the big UV light up top to make sure all the plants get enough sunlight. It is next to the window, so it's going to get a lot of natural sunlight as well, but just extra stuff for the plants. Then I have 2 big giant canister filters in here. The filters are both rated to like 175 gallons, so this tank is over-filtered. I'd much rather have it be over-filtered than under-filtered, because a muskie is very sensitive. It's sensitive to water content and all that stuff. So we got those down here. 1 filter, 2 filter, nice little power strip there. The previous owner of this tank and stand did a fabulous job with this. Like I said, I just bought it off Craigslist. He used to have a bunch of big, well, not big, but he had a bunch of flathead catfish in here. So now we got the muskie. And let me talk to you guys about why I put a muskie in here and a lot of stuff about that, because I'm sure a lot of you are very confused. Some of you might even be concerned. So let me explain. Okay, so the reason I put a tiger muskie in here, it's not a muskie, it's not a northern pike, it's a tiger muskie. And a tiger muskie is just a mix in between a pike and a muskie. They take the muskie eggs, the northern pike sperm, and they mix them and they get beautiful tiger muskie. They're basically the same attitude. They have much cooler patterns and they don't grow as big. Now at the very beginning of this video you saw I bought it from a hatchery. You can't just catch these fish in the wild and put him in a tank, and then since he's in here he can't be released back in the wild. Don't worry guys, I have a master plan for this fish. He's only like 15-16 inches right now. Once he outgrows the tank, maybe 20-21 inches, because this is a pretty huge tank. It's very deep. There is more than enough space in this tank for this guy to be comfortable. So once he outgrows the tank, I have a plan for that. So that's going to be in about 5-6 months. I expect him to get about 20-21 inches of size, where he's a little too big for his tank, and then we will move him. But if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you guys know that I absolutely love muskie fishing now. After the summer fishing with Lee and Robbie and even Spencer once, I just grew to love muskies. They're such a cool species, and obviously I can't just keep the fish in this tank for his whole life because they get quite big. Here's the biggest one I ever caught.
Yeah, yep, there you go. Hold the head out more, and then the belly will come to you.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Oh, this thing is so heavy. Oh my God. Come on, you will slip that thing. Look at the size of that thing.
That is a,
this thing is so slippery. So jam.
Yep, yep.
There it is, right there. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1.
So that was an amazing fish, amazing specimen. The reason I wanted to put a muskie in a tank is because they are such a unique fish. They are the king of the lake wherever they are. They don't do well with other fish in tanks, so the only thing that's ever going to be here is a muskie and maybe some food that he's going to eat, because if I were to put like a little bass in here, he'd chomp. But the guys I bought it from, they have holding tanks, and all the muskies have to be within like an inch or two of each other because they'll just straight up eat each other. Even at the size that they're at, like the 15 inches, will start eating each other. They're a very, very vicious fish. Now as you guys can see right now, I mean look at, he's still there. He's still there. The fish has not moved since I've gotten in here, and he probably hasn't moved in many hours. The amount of food this guy's going to eat is going to be just awesome, because the whole point of keeping fish with pets is fun and entertainment, right? You want a good, healthy environment for the fish. They are your pet, but at the same time, I didn't want something everyone else had. Everyone's got like a bass, everyone's got a bluegill. Never seen anyone keep a muskie in a tank before, and it's not easy. You have to have the right setup. I'm pretty sure I have the right setup now. Like I said before, I'm pretty new to the hobby, but I'm pretty excited to watch this guy grow over the next couple months. So without further ado, let's try to feed him. And another thing, I want to talk about the legality of this, because I'm pretty sure in a lot of states you cannot keep game fish like muskie in a tank, but since I bought it from a private hatchery, I'm not going to release him into the wild or anything like that. This is legal in Illinois, so we're going to have some fun with this guy right here. So we got covers on the tank first off, because muskies will jump out of any tank or anything you put him in. He's scheming. He's just waking up now. He's not 100% used to feeding yet. He's not 100% trained. He's only been in the tank for 3 days, so we're going to get him to the point of where we can drop a minnow in and he'll eat. But I don't think he's quite there yet, but he is going to eat right now eventually. And a lot of you guys are probably curious, these black spots on him, that's just like, I don't know exactly what they are. The hatchery guy said it's completely harmless. It's just like a bacteria that the fish get since there's so many muskies in the holding tank at once. They just get bacteria from each other. Oh, he ate all right.
Oh, and it's gone.
It's already gone. It's gone.
Chris,
That has been after 45 minutes of getting this thing to eat. I'm learning this pet. I'm learning this pet muskie, and he's very stubborn. He's like my wiener dog. Wiener dogs are a very stubborn breed of dog. I think muskies are a very stubborn type of fish. There's the minnow working its way down. See that bulge right there? See if I can get a better angle at it. Oh yeah. It's hard to tell on the camera, but there's a big bulge right there. He's working that shiner down. So I think the reason I finally got this guy to eat is I got different minnows for him. At first I bought suckers from the store. That was not the right move. There's so many weeds in here, there's so many places to hide, and suckers just sit on the bottom and don't do anything. So the second I dropped them in the tank, they would just run behind the weeds and hide, and the fish didn't really ever see them. But those shiners, they'll swim around a lot more and they'll stay up in the water column. And the second I stirred up that shiner, he was all about it. We tried to feed him yesterday. It didn't work. I don't remember enough, but I tried some BS with the lunar table feeding schedule. Obviously that doesn't matter. Came back the next day and I got my little pet muskie to finally eat. The thing about these fish too is that like they barely move, and then when they want to eat, it's like they just go so fast. When they make that decision, they are going to get that minnow. And also, just to show you guys, I know I mentioned this earlier, but I never showed you guys. These are the 2 pieces of beaver chewed logs that I got from the creek. I haven't fully decided if I want to put them in here yet, because they are kind of big, but they're so cool. You know, beaver has chewed this entire log. You know, I think it would be a really cool addition to add in the tank. The tank's pretty filled with weeds right now, so I think only one of these logs I would put in, if any. I don't know yet. I'm pretty happy with how it looks on all the weeds, because I want this fish to be able to swim around. This would obviously be on the bottom, so I haven't fully decided if I'm going to put these in yet. I'm just going to cure them for the next like 1 to 2 weeks in water and see where we're at then. But as of right now, my pet muskie is happily in his tank. He's got a couple shiners in there, and we finally got to watch him eat. It was kind of frustrating to me because I'm impatient. I know how cool this thing is going to be in like a couple weeks when it's fully trained. The second I drop something in there, he's just going to viciously attack it. But right now, he's still getting used to his tank. He's still getting used to his environment. So don't worry, guys. We will train this pet tiger muskie to be an absolute vicious hunter. We will get there, but this is just the beginning. This is beginning to all the fun. You've finally seen what I have put in this giant fish tank. This is, honestly, it's a very happy day for me because I got this idea like 3 months ago. In the shower, by the way. Always get your best ideas in the shower. But I had this idea 3 months ago, and so many things had to line up for this exact moment. Finally have the fish in the tank. He's healthy. The tank is healthy. Everything's perfect. We got him to eat. This guy is going to be a very, very fun pet for the couple months that we have him. But like I said previous in the video, you need a name for him. I let you guys name the bluegill of Bear Gills, and I'm going to do the same here because you guys enjoyed that so much. Look at him. He's just chilling. The happiest muskie in the world. He still is trying to swim this way. He hasn't fully grasped that there's glass right here. I got him from the hatchery like that. He's got a little bit of a rub on his nose from swimming around in the little big plastic tub that he grew up in, so this isn't too different compared to what this muskie's used to, but I don't think he likes the fact that there's glass. So this guy, I think, is going to be in solitary confinement just because he does not play well with others, but that's okay. He is going to be a fun pet while we have him.